Hey guys, welcome back to Cards and Comics, and today I've got a mail day. I got a small little box opening, and we'll just go over some card hobby news and just kind of thoughts. And so I'm going to open all this. Also, we got a box of this retail Upper Deck High numbers, which I've opened some of the e-pack stuff. I haven't opened any actual physical product yet. So I'm excited because it's a pretty cool series, even though it's a lot of young guns of players who aren't going to do much. But we open everything and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back. And so we've got everything unboxed. And, we'll start with the weird because, again, I've commented a lot about SGC and their weirdness with holders. And here's another just super weird example. Like, I don't know what's going on here. So I bought this really cool Chronicles Mike Trout Contenders Opit White Sparkle Prism. I just thought it was really cool and sparkly, so you can read what all it is. It's an 8, so it's not like a super high grade condition, but this card is a normal size card, and they put it in a ultra thick slab. Like, it's not, you can see right here where it's for thicker cards. And so now the card's bending inside the slab. Like, I don't know if you can really see it. It's hard to capture that on video, but why would they put a normal size card in a card holder made for, patches and that? So I don't know if they just ran out of regular holders, but the card's bending for no reason. This is weird. I mean, between their crappily cut inserts and pitting cards in weird holders, size holders, I don't know what's going on. And I don't, PSA will do this sometimes where they put a small card in a bigger holder and put that weird sleeve on it, so it doesn't float around. But man, this is just weird. Like, it's like putting, a 35-point card in a 70-point or 100-point one touch. The card's just going to float around and move around, and in this case, it's curling like a Magic the Gathering card. I mean, it's just weird. All right, just SGC. Sometimes I don't know what's going on with you guys. Next up is a card from the coolest autograph set in the world. I love this set. This is my favorite autograph set. I like other autographs, sets out there as well, but this one to me is so classic. I mean, you got Griffey, you got Ted Williams. I mean, you just got Hank Aaron. You got everybody in this set, man. It's nutso, and they're just so classic. The black and white photos. There's the gold versions. I mean, I think those are numbered. So, there's just variations. It was just like Upper Deck just killed it, and like they've tried to repeat this kind of set before or after, and they've never been able to get obviously this set because just they caught all the Hall of Famers right before unfortunately some died, and you just got so many great players that I think Eddie Matthews is in this set, that just don't have tons and tons of autos, and to have like if you put this whole set together, man, it's an amazing set. So Bob Feller, who's not rare, but I just like picking up cards from the set. Next up is a card that I'm super stoked about getting. So this is a 1966 Philadelphia Bart Star. So I've got the 64 and 67 Philadelphia Bart Star. So it's really cool to pick this one up. And let's just see, right there, PSA 8, Philadelphia Bart Star. And the cool thing about this card that I really loved was that, I got it on Buy It Now at a really reasonable price. So very cool card. Super stoked. And this has a really pretty back. And, I just really nice green, and just really cool set. Philadelphia cards get not a lot of love, even though I think the 67 set is really, really cool. That's the yellow ones. It's funny, they remind me a lot of 91 Fleer baseball, but people tend to like the 67 Philadelphia a lot more than the 91 Fleer set. So I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see the comic books. So not only a couple comic books. The first one is a book I talked about in my 1 year anniversary video about, and I went out and got a really nice copy raw on eBay. And this is what's cool about these kind of non-key keys. Like the Hitman from Garth Ennis could become a character. He's not anything right now, but Garth Ennis is on a win streak, I think, anyway, in terms of secondary media. With I think Preacher doing okay, but with The Boys, doing extremely well, somebody could look at Hitman and try to make something out of this character. And I think the stories actually were really good. So this is Bloodlines Deathstorm 2. I mean, the Demon Annual 2. I don't know, like Bloodlines Deathstorm, I guess, is the title of the story. But this is back when the Bloodlines was when DC was trying to introduce, for the better part, I think mutants. There was like an event that caused some people to turn into superheroes or have powers. And so, it was kind of DC trying to create new characters. And Hitman was one of them. The cool thing about the Hitman was that Garth Ennis didn't want, to have the Hitman really in the DC universe interacting with superheroes. And even though the Hitman, I think, had some powers, over the course of the series, he doesn't really use them anymore. He pretty much just becomes a character. A lot of people would say he's like the Punisher, but he's not really in terms of like ethics and that kind of thing. But the cool thing about this is, like, it reminds me more of like Sandman. Is Sandman started out as being in the DC universe and ended up being in Vertigo and not having much to do with a lot of DC characters. And that's sort of what they did with Hitman, even though he was designed to be a new DC superhero from this, Bloodlines event that kind of went away. And, because really there was the characters that came out of this series and the new superheroes have really been very forgettable, and he's the only one that made anything that kind of stuck. And I think it's interesting that to make him stick, they had to basically remove him from all the rest of the DC universe to create cool stories for. So next up is probably, I think, one of the cooler variant covers that's come out in a little bit. Now this cover is from Natalie Sanders. It's Harley Quinn 75. It's a beautiful, beautiful cover, and she's done this. There's a Poison Ivy cover as well. I've showed that in a few other videos. The Poison Ivy cover, which I'm going after as well. I don't have it yet. And the way she does them is that they have kind of this magazine look to them, and then they've got a Virgin variant with all the writing. And so I prefer all the writing because it makes it look like a magazine cover, which is what it's designed to do. When you take all the writing away, it looks just like an art germ cover or something like that, which isn't as cool. I like this style much better. So, so as far as like, other things going on, with the hobby or kind of with what's going on, in my world, there's a lot of shows coming up in the area, in the Albany area. There's been a brand new show that's been announced in Schenectady. So that's cool. So now there's multiple shows happening in some months. So I'm hoping to try to get to the Schenectady show. In November, I'm still trying to get a spot as a dealer at the Saratoga Comic Con. I put my name on the list. I'm going to email them some more to make sure they remember me, because they tend to, I've been there multiple times as a dealer, but, I'm not, I guess, a big enough dealer for them to reach out and ask if I'm wanting another spot. So I always have to remind them I want a spot and to not give my tables away or to forget me. So I'm hoping that I can keep a spot with them. Because 3 years ago when I was started with them, there was a lot of empty space, and now I think there's going to be a lot of people looking to set up, and I'm hoping I don't get cut out for other dealers who have probably like Pokemon or cards, or things that I don't do. I just do straight comics and cards. So that's happening. So a lot of shows. there is King Kong coming up in New Jersey. So I might try to get out to that. That's on, I think, September 25th. Um, so, I might be going out there. I won't be setting up, but if I go, I'll do a video. But the thing I would like to do is if I do set up at Saratoga Con, or I even thought about calling and seeing if I can get a spot as a dealer at the Schenectady show. Do a video as a dealer, because when I do dealing, I'm a little different than others, and I kind of have a different take on it. But yeah, I mean, it would be cool if I could do either show, because I've got so much inventory. I would love to move it. So I just got so much stuff. I did a little video that I'm going to post where I'm showing I'm just sorting through comics like crazy. I probably got 2 long boxes worth of comics that I am going to end up getting rid of. I try to blow out 25 cents at a Comic-Con. If I can't, I might just donate them, or just give them, or take them to a comic store and just give them to them for bulk price, by the pound. It's just like, what happens after years and years of collecting? You just get so much stuff that you just don't need. It's tough, that's why comic books are tough, just because of space. As I was going through those comics, though, I kept running into some really, really cool books that I didn't even realize were cool, or keys. So that was cool. But it also got me to think, like, how much of those books are, like Invincible, Why the Last Man? Not always number one, but there's some keys that aren't number one that I've been finding. But it's just like the fact that those comics and cards, those comic books are inspiring all this media and the covers and just how the creativity and sports cards. The one thing I'm seeing with sports cards is just the lack of creativity. Now, Panini is coming out with a lot of case hits that are just inserts that are looking cooler, but some of them aren't, and some of them don't look great. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Downtown, especially when they put dumb, poorly drawn characters on the cards. When they do it and actually try to make it look cool, then I don't mind them as much. But there's the effort, and I think Topps Project was actually the first real effort to make cards look cooler and different. Even if you hated them, at least they were trying something different. Topps Project, and I think that spurred more creativity. So I'm hoping cards kind of comes around, because in comics you've got covers like this, a lot of cool artist things that are working, but turning this media, these stories and these covers into other media and other things is really what's cool about comics, and driving some of those stories and covers to be worth more. Whereas in sports cards, obviously it's just scarcity and value and performance that drives performance driving the value, and then the scarcity and popularity of the set. But it's just different, and I think it's interesting the difference between the two. Now, the other thing, looking at what could happen in cards, if Fanatics, kind of maybe ending some long-term brands and starting new brands. It'll be interesting to see how they make those brands, because I kind of think breaking and the box breakers have kind of ruined some cards, because these kind of 1 per pack hit products are definitely designed for breakers, or something like Transcendent, which is kind of like every card's a hit type product, which is super expensive, so no one can afford it. So you have to get into a group break to even get a card. I think, is Fanatics going to go more that route? Hearing that they're really going to go into sports betting and media, I just think they're going to view it as like gambling, so make it more like a gambler's product and not so much a collector's product. Like products like Heritage may go away, because they're really for people who like to collect sets and things like that. Even though they've tried to make them more hit based, but they're not like Transcendent by any means. So, or Flawless. It'll be interesting to see which way they go on that. But yeah, but interesting times are ahead. I think it's valuations and card prices are changing by the minute. I'm going to be putting out some more I'm working on my September vintage card price video. I just put out my Tom Seaver versus Nolan Ryan. If you guys have any suggestions for comparisons of players, I'm thinking of comparing Warren Spahn to Koufax. I know that seems like a weird one, but trust me, there's some reasons there. I'm trying to think about Frank Robinson and who to compare him to from a price standpoint, from vintage, and who would be his kind of comp as a player. I mean, would it be Mickey Mantle? Would it be Hank Aaron? Would it be like who would it be? Willie McCovey? I mean, and then look at values there. So I'm working on some videos. Ernie Banks, would be interesting. So yeah, it's been a really interesting couple weeks, and hopefully you saw I was on Ziggy recently, and I was really happy about that. So I'm hoping to do some more those kind of videos. If any of the content creators want to have me on, that's great. I enjoy talking about the hobby. I'm not going to be the kind of the always the everything's sunny and roses kind of guy. That's not my gig. I've lived through this hobby so much and been scammed so many times. Maybe it's because I'm dumb or gullible, but to where you get a little jaded, and I love it, but I also know that you can get burned, and also what's happening with recently with PWCC and shill bidding and Probstein and shill bidding and just all these trimming, and things are not perfect, and so we have to call it out. And PSA just announcing their price reduction, and that regular service is coming back. That's going to be a major event in the hobby, is what they price regular service at, right? PSA coming back with regular service is going to be a huge deal. Like if it's $40-$60, you're going to see just a megaton bomb drop to PSA. I don't know why PSA doesn't do something different and just limit people on the amount of cards they can submit every month. If you're a regular dude, you have a regular membership, you get 10 cards a month at regular service. That's it. If you're paying for the super duper expensive, you get 50. If you're a breaker or some sort of bulk guy who works out a deal specially, you get 500. And whatever, like they could do that. I don't know why they don't do that. I just, like, why do they sit there and go like, okay, we're gonna come back at $80. Oh God, 5 billion cards just got submitted. We're back off. I don't know. Like, we'll see. They can't keep doing this. I mean, they got to figure out some way to keep their doors open continuously without having to open it back up or jack prices up 10 times so people just quit submitting. I mean, it's just not sustainable for anyone. Because eventually they will, cause other services to kind of take some of their thunder. Now, if, the one thing I always say about PSA, and I've said this in multiple times in videos, is as soon as PSA loses some market share or things start to go a little south for them, they'll run a grading special, like, 5 cards for $100, regular service, up to $1,000 or something. And immediately all the volume will go back to them. And so I think they just know that all they have to do is run one cool promo and everyone's going to be back to being on PSA's bandwagon. So, but we'll see. I mean, it's going to be some interesting times. The next 3 months is, the end of the year is going to be a really cool time to be in the hobby. So, good or bad, I mean, it's exciting. So, and then finally in the video on a box break. So, I haven't opened up too much product. Now I do have a really cool product coming in. I've never opened it before on the vintage side. I have a box of 98 Donruss Preferred. So it's baseball. So it's not the cool 97 though, even though it has similar inserts. You've got the, the precious metals or the cards with the 1 gram of precious metals in them, those cards exist in the 98 set too, but the 97 looks so much better because they're a unique design, or they look so much different. The 98 versions look like the base cards for the most part, so they don't look quite as special, and but they're really rare, but they just don't really bring as much. So, but that box is coming, so I got a full box of 98 Donruss Preferred Baseball. I'm going to be opening for the first time ever in my life, and so here's 2020, 2021 Upper Deck high number. Again, I've never opened this product live. I've opened up, again, a lot of e-pack stuff, and you know, I've not been as active on e-pack lately. It's just not been a priority. So here we go. We'll see what we get. And hopefully we get something cool. These packs are a little stiff. So open up this kind of product, it's really just, you know, there's like one card in every pack that's cool, right? For the most part. So this is interesting how they did these Ultimate Victory cards, right? Because anyone who remembers these cards, they had a thicker border. So I don't know why, you know, here's Philip Kurashev. I don't know why they couldn't make him look a little closer to the original, like the 99 Ultimate Victories, or 90, I think 99. But anyway, so 99 Ultimate Victory Kurashev. So yeah, that's one of my complaints. It's just that, you know, like they'll make an insert set like something retro, and then they won't actually make it look like that retro set. Now I'm very curious about the new metal that just came out. It looks like a cool product, so I may have to open a box of that. All right, next up is Thomas Harley, and this is the Ionics, or yeah, What is this? I thought these were Ionic set, but the holographics, yeah, these are really cool. So here is Thomas Harley. So again, you know, that's what I like about this product, is they did a great job on adding a bunch of just cool insert sets that, you know, don't exist in a lot of these original, you know, Upper Deck products, and along with the 05, 06 retro or throwback. All right, first Young Gun. So we got Arthur Kiliev. You know, so the 05, 06 throwbacks is cool. So just a lot of stuff in this product. It's fun. It makes it fun to open. You know, you don't know what you're going to get, but some of it just looks cool. All right. Going to the base here, and in retail, I believe you get, you definitely can get some just base packs. Whereas in hobby, I believe every pack has something. So, we'll see if we got something in this one. Yeah, because some of these you might get the French version, and I don't think so. It's 2 base packs in a row. That makes the retail like definitely not as fun, for sure. Because in the hobby you get like multiple packs, or you get multiple, or at least one hit, and sometimes you get 2. All right, here we go. Cam Johnson. There we go, Cam Johnson. Young Guns, very cool. So 2 Young Guns, that's very nice. So 1 more pack. So hopefully we can hit something a little rare. Who knows? Getting something numbered out of Upper Deck is always really tough. And an 05, 06. It looks like it's Zach Wierenski. So yeah, an 05, 06. So there you go. You know, fun. You know, not every pack has a hit, so that's kind of a bummer. But if you go through here, you know, 1 05, 06, 2 Young Guns, Cam Johnson, Arthur Kiliev, Thomas Harley, and Philip Kurashev, Ultimate Victory. So nothing too exciting, but you know, my first product I've opened in quite a while. And again, be on the lookout for that 98 Donish Preferred box. That's going to be very cool. New product for me to open. I've never opened before. And I'll see you guys next time. Hope you be on the lookout for that, and I'll see you guys next time.